Hi everyone, I am CA Swapnil from Swapnil Patil and Associates. In this video, I will explain the 12 lakh income rebate under section 87A in the most simple and practical way. So let's start the video. Let's understand what the 12 lakh income rebate under section 87A actually means. At its core, this rebate is available only to resident individuals who opt for the new tax regime. Now here's the key point. If your total income is up to 12 lakh, the rebate can completely offset your tax liability. The maximum rebate allowed is Rs 60,000, which means your final tax payable can effectively become zero. But remember, this is a rebate, not a reduction. So how does it work? First, your tax is calculated as per the slab rates, then the rebate is applied, and finally, your tax liability can reduce to zero. This benefit is especially relevant for those incomes that is taxed under normal slab rates. For salaried individuals, there's an added advantage. With a 75,000 standard deduction, your gross salary can go up to around 12.75 lakhs while still keeping your taxable income within the rebate limit. So, the takeaway is simple. If your income is within the threshold and properly structured, you can legally pay zero income tax. Now, let's understand the timeline of this 12 lakh rebate. This provision was first announced in the budget 2025 as part of the government's effort to provide tax relief under the new regime. However, it does not apply immediately. The effective date is 1st April 2026, which means it will be applicable from the financial year starting on that date. Practically, you will see the benefit when filing your returns for the assessment year 26-27. And most importantly, the rebate applies to income up to 12 lakh under the new tax regime. So, while the announcement has already been made, the actual benefit will start from FY 26-27 onwards. Now, let's understand who can actually claim this 12 lakh rebate. First, the benefit is available only to resident individuals. Second, you must opt for the new tax regime. If you are still using the old regime, this benefit will not apply. And third, your total income should be within the prescribed threshold to get the full rebate. So, who are the typical beneficiaries? This includes salaried employees, professionals, and freelancers, business owners, and even pensioners, as long as they are resident individuals under the new regime. So, who is not eligible? NRIs cannot claim this rebate. Entities like HUF, firms, and companies are not covered, and individuals choosing the old tax regime are also excluded. Also, keep in mind, under the old regime, the rebate is much lower and follows completely different limits. So, choosing the right tax regime becomes very important if you want to take full advantage of this benefit. Now, let's answer a very important question. Which income is actually covered under this rebate? The rebate applies only to normal income taxed under slab rates. This includes salary income, income from house property, business or professional income, and other sources like bank interest. So, if your income falls under these categories, the rebate can help reduce your tax even to zero. Now, let's look at what is not covered: capital gains, lottery or gaming winnings, crypto or VDA income. These are taxed at special rates, which means the rebate does not apply to them in the same way. Here's why this matters. Even if your total income is within 12 lakh, if a portion of it comes from these special categories, you may still have to pay tax on that part. For salaried individuals, there's one more advantage. With a Rs 75,000 standard deduction, a gross salary of around 12.75 lakh can still fall within the 12 lakh taxable income limit. So always remember, it's not just the amount of income, but also the type of income that determines your final tax. Now, let's look at some important conditions you must remember to actually benefit from this rebate. First, the rebate is linked to income taxed under normal slab rates. It applies only after your tax is calculated under standard slab structure. Second, special rate income is treated separately. This includes capital gains, lottery, winnings, gaming income, and crypto, all of which follow their own tax rules and are not fully covered by the rebate. Third, the maximum rebate is capped at 60,000. That is the upper limit you can claim under the new tax regime. As for salaried individuals, one key advantage: the 75,000 standard deduction can make a gross salary of around 12.75 lakh tax efficient. So the practical rule is simple. Don't just focus on how much you earn, focus on what type of income you earn because that directly impacts your final tax liability. Now let's understand this concept with some practical examples. Case 1. Income of 12 lakh, normal income only. Your tax is calculated as follows. Up to rupees 4 lakh, nil. 4 to 8 lakh at 5% that comes to 20,000. 8 to 12 lakh at 10% that comes to 40,000. So total tax comes to 60,000. Now, rebate under section 87A is also 60,000, which means your final tax payable becomes 0. This happens because your income is fully within the threshold. Now, case 2, income of 12.1 lakh. This is the practical example of marginal relief. Here, tax on 12 lakh is 60,000 and on the extra 10,000 tax is 1,500. Total tax becomes 61,500. But here's the important concept, marginal relief. Your tax cannot exceed the extra income earned. So your final tax payable is capped at 10,000 plus cess. Case 3. Mixed income, normal income plus special rate income. Let's say normal income is 9 lakh on which tax comes to rupees 30,000. Short-term capital gain is 3 lakhs on which tax comes to rupees 60,000 at 20%. Total tax before rebate is 90,000. Now, rebate applies only to normal income, so 30,000 gets reduced, but 60,000 on capital gain remains. So, final tax payable is 60,000. Final takeaway, the key point is simple. The rebate reduces tax on normal slab income, but special rate income is always taxed separately. So, proper income planning becomes very important. So this was from my side. If you liked the video, please subscribe the channel and hit the like button. Thank you.